Mr. Brian O'Connor, you've been dealing with e-health issues for quite a long time.
Yes.
What are the main issues here at the conference that you pay attention to?
I think the key thing that people are waking up to is how beneficial e-health or the deployment and implementation of e-health solutions can have on people's lives. So forget about the technologies and so on, but really getting into how do you make our lives better?
You say people are waking up.
Yeah.
What that means?
I think for a long time now, governments especially have looked at rightly the question of how do you protect citizens against hacking, how do you give them cyber security, what laws do you need, all of that's really important. But not enough attention or action rather has been paid to, yeah, but what can I do now with existing technologies which really would help my citizens? And that's where I see there's a fervor, there's an excitement about, you don't need to invent many more things. There are lots of things we all use every day, like phones and iPads. Why aren't we using those right now? And I think that's what I mean by people are realizing we can do a lot already without waiting any longer.
We in Estonia already enjoy many benefits of this new e-health system, but there is still a lot of skepticism in some parts of Europe. So what are people skeptical? I think confidentiality is one issue. People still think that paper is safer than the cyberspace.
Yes, I think all of those are true. However, they're also used as an excuse sometimes by those who should be promoting things. When you pick up your phone and you do your banking or you do your travel booking or you do your internet or whatever it is, you do it. I don't necessarily know how my phone works, nor do I care. I just want to know it works. I'm assuming someone somewhere has built-in safeguards to protect me. What I'm saying is let's do what we can do, what's possible. I think there's too much concern over cybersecurity. I don't mean it's not important, but in the end we all know that we are all happy to get a good service, but to do that you've got to share some information on yourself. So there's a degree of risk the citizen can decide upon.
We see a lot of goodwill here at the conference that those services should be implemented and the process should be rather fast. But it's not fast at all. Our former president of Estonia, reminded us yesterday that it took 5 years to implement the e-prescriptions between Estonia and Finland, although 5 years ago the technology was already there. But to overcome the legal hurdles, it took time. And his main call was that let's speed it all up.
Well, I met with your former president in Boston almost 5 years ago when he was launching this task force, and he said the same thing then. He said, this will be done in a few months.
So that was the EU task force?
That's right, he was the e-health task force leader. He did a brilliant job though in the sense that, okay, we've had to wait 5 years, but that 5 years in implementing laws and so on has not gone unnoticed by the rest of Europe. So the work that's gone on in Estonia, and which he's now saying, for goodness sake, move faster, much of that work, much of that invention of laws and regulations has already started to be embraced by forward-thinking countries in Europe. Not everyone, but you see, this is one of the things about Europe. It's very difficult to get all 28 member states to agree on anything, and above all, it's difficult to do anything. So our view of these things is, why don't we just get the coalition of the doers, the people who are willing to do things now, why don't we start with them? It may only be 5 countries, it may be 10. But once people see successes and citizens say, oh, can you not do this in your own country? Your colleague at the conference was saying, look, I come from Finland, I'm in Finland, I come here with a prescription, I can't fill it. Next year you'll be able to. That demand from the consumer, the citizen, is what's going to drive what can be done right now. Your former president did a great job.
Here at the conference, the public world meets the private world. The policymakers meet the businesses. Healthcare is a big business.
It is.
So you represent, your coalition has members also from the business side. So what are their concerns? Because as I mentioned already at one of the panels, that the business world views the policymakers often rather skeptically, that they are making obstacles. They are willing to implement those new apps immediately, but. So how those two sides can collaborate?
I think, I can't think of the appropriate words to say. It's not a mutual admiration society, whatever the opposite of that is true. So the governments look at industry as perhaps people who want to capture data, control a particular stream of data or control people's lives.
And make fast profit.
And they say you shouldn't make profit, in the industry say, but look, we've created all these jobs. What's the problem? And we're giving a service. The governments are looked upon by many of the industry as being too slow, risk averse, not willing to what the government perceive as take risks. So I go back to my point. Let's do what is capable of being done now. My key point is that every other sector, and we are the people, use the current devices in a way that we do not use them in the health sector. And all you've got to do is get 5 or 6 countries to say, and don't underestimate, though you may still look in Estonia and say, we have more to do, that's true, but you've done more than almost anyone in Europe, and you are now seen as a beacon, as a sign of hope that it is possible to get there sometime.
And another topic, and the point that was made here at the conference, that the European countries, the 28 members, soon 27 members, should take more commitments. There's lots of talk, lots of hot air. On the policy level, everything is rather cloudy. But let's not say that we support these ideas, we commit to these ideas. That was made, the comment made by the Austrian official.
Yes, by Clemens.
Yeah.
My response to that is this. There are instruments. We did a session yesterday, I think it was, on where's the money? Because that is obviously the oil that makes things work, and you were present. I think what came out of that was there's lots of money. The difficulty is for people at a certain level to know how to get to that money. So you look at the European Investment Bank, big bank, lots of money, objective, lend money, get out money. Their difficulty is getting the money out there. The difficulty for the people who would like the money is they don't know who to talk to in a huge bank. So you need to break it down into saying, go to Felicitas, who was on the panel, go and ask her. She wants to invest 3 billion euros in this sector. She can't do it because not enough people are asking her. So you've got that crazy situation of not matching the needs with the solutions. So that's one of the jobs that we do in the ECH Alliance. We try to literally connect people because that's what makes it happen.
We approved here today, the participants approved the European Digital Health Society Convention, Declaration.
Yes.
That's a rather big document and a great document. What should be next for this declaration?
Well, as we set out this morning, I agree with you, by the way. There's declarations everywhere, and good intentions are worthwhile. But you have to move them from good intentions to practical success stories. So already the 4 task forces, which I'd remind you have only had 4 months to do their work, 3.5 actually, what they have done is set out very clearly some very practical, specific steps to actually change things. And in some cases, like the Republic of Ireland, as was demonstrated, they've already started to use the initial findings to change the way they are implementing their e-health strategy in Ireland, to empower the citizen, to create the demand. And then everybody in government goes, oh my God, the citizens really are demanding this, so I better do something. So there's a virtual circle. It accelerates because of the demand. You facilitate it by making some financial commitments, sometimes not huge, but enough to oil the wheels and get it started. So I think there's a build-up of real, genuine action. Otherwise, we wouldn't be involved. We're about action. We're not about blah, blah, blah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming to Tallinn, and I hope that the Estonian presidency really makes some difference.
It has already made a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good conference.
Thank you.